Ladies and gentlemen, there is an enemy that lives closer than you think. This enemy does not come from outside forces, nor does it wear a face you can recognize. It is silent, invisible, yet more dangerous than any opponent you will ever face. That enemy is your own uncontrolled mind. The mind is a battlefield, and the war is not fought with swords or guns. It is fought with thoughts. Every single day, thoughts of doubt, fear, laziness, and temptation attack, trying to pull you away from purpose. Many people are not defeated by circumstances. They are defeated long before that by their own thinking. If you do not control your mind will control you. It will direct your emotions, shape your actions, and dictate your future. An undisciplined mind will lead you to make poor choices, chase distractions, and sabotage your own potential. It will tell you you're not good enough, you can't do it, and it's too late. And if you believe those lies, they will become your reality. But here is the truth. Your mind was never meant to be your master. It was meant to be your servant. You must train it, shape it, and discipline it to serve your purpose. The most successful people in the world are not the most talented or the strongest. They are the ones who have mastered their minds. How do you take control? You start by filtering what you allow inside. Be careful what you listen to, what you watch, and who you surround yourself with. Garbage in, garbage out. The wrong influences will shape wrong thinking, and wrong thinking will lead to a wrong life. Next, you must train your mind like a muscle. If you do not feed it with wisdom, it will feed on foolishness. Read, learn, and meditate on ideas that strengthen you. Focus on things that elevate your mind, not things that drag you down. Most importantly, you must practice discipline. When negative thoughts come, do not entertain them. When fear whispers in your ear, do not listen. When doubt tries to creep in, speak the truth to yourself. I am capable. I am strong. I am in control. Remember, the difference between those who rise and those who fall is not talent, luck, or background. It is mindset. Your greatest enemy is not your past, not your environment, not even other people. Your biggest enemy is your uncontrolled mind. But the good news, you have the power to win this battle. Your mind is not just a space for thoughts. It is a battlefield where wars are fought every single day. Every decision, every action, every step you take begins in the unseen realm of your thoughts. This is where your greatest victories or your worst defeats are determined. The most dangerous wars are not the ones fought with weapons or armies. They are the silent wars within. The war between doubt and confidence, fear and faith, distraction and discipline. Every great downfall begins in the mind long before it appears in reality. People do not fail because of circumstances. They fail because they lost the battle in their thoughts before they even stepped onto the battlefield of life. Your mind is under attack constantly, whether you recognize it or not. Every negative thought, every limiting belief, every whisper of self-doubt is an enemy attempting to take territory in your life. The moment you accept a lie about yourself, you give it power. The moment you allow fear to dictate your decisions, you surrender ground. If you do not take control of your mind, you will be ruled by forces that were never meant to have dominion over you. But here is the truth. Just as the mind can be a battlefield, it can also be a fortress. If you train it, guard it, and discipline it, it becomes your greatest weapon. The strongest people are not those who have never struggled, but those who have learned to win the war within. They have mastered the ability to push past fear, silence doubt, and focus on what truly matters. They have learned that thoughts shape reality, and they refuse to allow destructive thinking to dictate their future. The greatest battles of your life will not be fought in the world around you, but in the silence of your own mind. What you choose to think about, what you choose to believe, and what you choose to dwell on will determine whether you win or lose. If you do not take control, the battlefield will consume you. But if you master your mind, nothing in this world will be able to stop you. An uncontrolled mind is like a wildfire, unrestrained, destructive, and consuming everything in its path. It does not ask for permission to ruin lives, it simply takes over. When your mind lacks discipline, it becomes a breeding ground for chaos. It welcomes fear, doubt, confusion, and negativity, allowing them to take root and dictate your decisions. And when the mind is uncontrolled, life itself begins to unravel. Nothing destroys potential faster than a mind left to wander without purpose. It is in the absence of discipline that destructive habits are formed. Procrastination takes over, bad decisions become frequent, and opportunities are lost. An undisciplined mind makes a person unpredictable, unstable, and unreliable. They move through life controlled by emotions rather than purpose, by impulses rather than wisdom. History is filled with stories of individuals who had talent, intelligence, and opportunity, but still fell into failure because they never learned to control their minds. The greatest enemy of success is not a lack of resources or intelligence. It is the inability to govern one's own thoughts. A person who cannot master their mind will be mastered by their weaknesses. Doubt will whisper that you are not good enough. And if your mind is uncontrolled, you will believe it. Fear will tell you to stop trying and you will obey. Distractions will pull you away from your goals and you will follow. When the mind has no discipline, it makes choices based on temporary emotions rather than long-term wisdom. A single undisciplined thought can turn into an action, and a single reckless action can lead to a lifetime of regret. But this destruction does not happen overnight. It begins in small moments, ignoring self-restraint, entertaining harmful thoughts, allowing negativity to settle. Over time, an uncontrolled mind becomes a prison, trapping a person in cycles of failure and frustration. The greatest tragedies in life are not the result of external forces, but of internal battles lost. If you cannot rule your mind, life will rule you. But when you take control, when you train your thoughts and refuse to let them control you, you shift the course of your destiny. Those who master their minds master their lives. Those who fail to do so will watch their potential be consumed by destruction. Your mind is the architect of your destiny. Every thought you entertain, every belief you accept, and every idea you allow to take root within you shapes the course of your life. Your future is not written by fate or dictated by circumstances. It is carved by the patterns of your thinking. Where your mind goes, your life follows. A person who believes they are limited will live a limited life. A person who constantly dwells on failure will unconsciously walk into failure. The mind is like soil. It will grow whatever you plant in it. If you sow seeds of doubt, fear, and negativity, your life will be filled with limitations, hesitation, and regret. But if you fill your mind with vision, discipline, and unwavering belief, you will move in the direction of success and purpose. Nothing is more powerful than the thoughts you choose to entertain. Every great achievement, every innovation, and every success story began in the mind of someone who refused to accept limits. The people who rise above mediocrity are not necessarily more talented or privileged. They are simply those who have trained their minds to think differently. They have chosen to see challenges as opportunities, to turn setbacks into lessons, and to replace fear with faith. But the reverse is also true. A mind filled with doubt becomes a prison, trapping a person in cycles of failure. When your mind is filled with excuses, your life will be filled with missed opportunities. When you allow external voices to dictate your beliefs, you surrender control of your future. A person who has lost control of their mind has already lost control of their destiny. The truth is, life does not give you what you want, it gives you what you are prepared to receive. And preparation begins in the mind. You will never step into greatness if you cannot first see yourself as capable. You will never break free from limitations if you continue to entertain thoughts of defeat. Before success manifests in your hands, it must first be conceived in your mind. Your destiny is not waiting for you in some distant future. It is being created right now in the thoughts you choose to think and the beliefs you choose to hold. Master your mind and you will master your future. Fill it with purpose and you will walk in purpose. Let it drift aimlessly and you will live a life of aimlessness. Your mind is the birthplace of everything you will become. Control it, discipline it, and direct it, for it is the compass that will lead you to your discipline is the bridge between potential and achievement, between dreams and reality. Without discipline, talent is wasted, vision fades, and ambition dies in the face of distraction. Every person is born with potential, but only those who master discipline will ever unlock it. Discipline is not a restriction, it is the foundation of freedom. The freedom to rise above mediocrity, the freedom to control your actions, and the freedom to shape your own destiny. The greatest individuals in history were not necessarily the most gifted, but they were the most disciplined. They understood that mastery is not a one-time event. It is the result of consistent, intentional effort. It is waking up every day and choosing focus over distraction, commitment over comfort, and persistence over excuses. They knew that greatness is not a product of occasional bursts of effort, but of relentless consistency. An undisciplined person is ruled by their emotions, swayed by their environment, and controlled by temporary desires. They do what feels good in the moment rather than what is necessary for the future. They start projects but never finish, make promises but never keep them, and set goals but never follow through. Without discipline, even the most talented individual will live an unfulfilled life, constantly wondering why they never reach their full potential. Discipline is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. It is the ability to push forward when motivation fades, to stay committed when distractions arise, and to remain focused when obstacles appear. It is waking up and doing the work even when no one is watching. It is saying no to what is easy and yes to what is necessary. Mastery in any area, whether in leadership, business, relationships, or personal growth, requires the discipline to practice, to learn, to refine, and to keep going despite setbacks. Those who refuse to discipline their minds will never master their craft, their emotions, or their future. They will always be at the mercy of circumstances instead of in control of their destiny. If you want to rise, discipline must become your foundation. It must govern your decisions, shape your habits, and define your actions. Because in the end, it is not talent, luck, or opportunity that determines success. It is the discipline to do what must be done day after day until mastery is achieved. Your mind is the factory of your future. Every thought you entertain is like a seed planted in the soil of your subconscious, and with time, those seeds grow into the reality you experience. You are not simply a product of your environment, your circumstances, or even your talents. You are a product of the thoughts you allow to dominate your mind. Whatever you continually think about, you eventually become. A person who constantly dwells on failure will unconsciously move toward failure. Someone who focuses on fear and self-doubt will begin to act in ways that confirm those fears. Negative thinking is not harmless. It is a force that shapes your decisions, your habits, and ultimately your destiny. If you believe you are not capable, you will not take action. If you convince yourself that opportunities are scarce, you will never see the ones right in front of you. Your thoughts dictate your actions, and your actions define your life. But the opposite is also true. Those who discipline their minds to think in alignment with success, growth, and purpose will naturally move in that direction. The greatest achievers in history were not necessarily born with more intelligence or resources. They simply trained their minds to see possibilities where others saw limitations. They refused to dwell on failure, but instead focused on solutions. They did not allow fear to paralyze them, because they had already won the battle in their thoughts before they ever stepped into the real world. Your mind is like a magnet, attracting into your life the things that align with your dominant thoughts. If you constantly think about progress, you will start making progress. If you feed your mind with wisdom, your decisions will reflect wisdom. If you focus on becoming better, you will find ways to improve. This is not wishful thinking. This is the principle that governs every successful life. The challenge is that most people do not guard their thoughts. They allow distractions, negativity, and limiting beliefs to take root, unaware that these thoughts are shaping their future. But if you want to change your life, you must first change what you think about daily. You must replace doubt with confidence, fear with faith, and distractions with focus. Because in the end, you will not rise higher than the level of your thoughts. You will become exactly what you continually think about. Life does not wait for you to take control. It will move forward with or without your permission. If you do not take charge of your mind, your emotions, your habits, and your decisions, something else will. The world is full of forces waiting to shape your life. Distractions, fear, negative influences, and external expectations. If you do not actively lead your own mind, these forces will lead it for you. An uncontrolled life is a reactionary life. It is a life where you drift instead of direct, respond instead of initiate, and follow instead of lead. People who do not take control become prisoners of their emotions, slaves to their impulses, and victims of circumstances. They allow fear to dictate their choices, procrastination to steal their potential, and excuses to justify their lack of progress. They wake up every day not with purpose, but with uncertainty, moving wherever life pushes them rather than where they intentionally decide to go. But power is never given, it is taken. Those who take control of their lives understand that nothing changes until they make a decision to change it. They refuse to let emotions control their actions. They do not wait for motivation. They cultivate discipline. They are not swayed by temporary setbacks because they have already determined the direction they are heading. Taking control starts in the mind. It begins with mastering your thoughts, choosing what you allow inside and deciding what will influence you. If you do not filter what enters your mind, you will be shaped by everything around you: social media, toxic environments, fear-driven narratives. But when you take control, you become intentional about what you consume, who you listen to, and how you respond. Success, fulfillment, and mastery do not happen by accident. They happen by design, and design requires control. It requires setting boundaries, establishing discipline, and making decisions that align with your highest purpose. The moment you stop leading yourself, something else will take the lead. Either you take control or you will be controlled by your fears, your past, your environment, or other people's expectations. The choice is always yours. Your mind is the birthplace of your future, the battlefield where your greatest victories or worst defeats are determined. Every thought you allow, every belief you accept, and every habit you cultivate is shaping the life you will live. If your mind remains uncontrolled, it will become your greatest enemy, leading you into doubt, fear, and destruction. But if you take command of it, if you discipline it, guard it, and train it, it will become your most powerful asset. Nothing in life is more dangerous than a wandering mind, and nothing is more powerful than a mind under control. The undisciplined mind breeds failure, but a mind ruled by wisdom, vision, and focus creates unstoppable momentum. Your destiny is not something you stumble upon, it is something you build, thought by thought, action by action, decision. Master your mind and you master your life. Choose your thoughts with intention. Discipline your focus and refuse to be a victim of emotions or circumstances. The world does not shape you, your mind does. And if you do not take control of it, something else will. The battle's always been in your mind, but the power to win has always been in your hands. The choice is yours. Take control or be controlled.